Mm-hmm.
News picture story. Multiple picture entry of a story, series, or sequence of a spot or general music video.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And then, did we look at everything big, or were we still looking at contact sheets?
Contact sheets first. Yeah.
That's right, about 15 seconds each.
Cool. Did he get stuck under his car?
Yeah, he had it jacked up on bricks.
Jeez. Okay. Do you guys want to do?
Speaking of life's embarrassing moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Round of voting.
One vote to keep it in.
Cool.
Okay.
In for now.
Out.
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 Out. In.
Out.
Out.
Is that two?
That's three.
Three.
Yeah. Out. Out.
Out.
In.
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 Out.
In.
In.
Out.
Out.
Out. Out.
Out.
Out.
Is that all three?
Yeah. Out. Thanks.
That dude's
It's
so-
funny. Like.
He's so embarrassed.
Yeah.
He's just like, man, I'm so screwed right
Could
now.
you read the caption on that one, that last one, just for giggles?
Yeah.
It's not here?
Yeah.
The 21-year-old Heatherington was greeted with a hug from his girlfriend
That's a nice caption there, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
funny.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's
No,
out, but
just for
curious.
curiosity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky kid.
Mhm.
You just,
See him big.
yeah, see all big.
Yeah.
Like it's on 4 seconds.
Oh yeah. Can we just do 2?
I like that shot.
Mm.
Redundancy though. Can I hear the summary on the epidemic, number 3? Yeah, that one.
Residents of Northwest Ohio whose lives have been forever changed by the opioid epidemic in a myriad of ways share their stories.
Hmm.
These feel repetitive to me.
I could go out on this. I was the only in initially, and unless either of you have changed your opinions, I'm out.
No.
No, they don't have the same, like, feel to them. I mean, they look the same, but they don't feel the same. I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, but, I don't know, some, like, where they're smiling seem kind of out of place when you're talking about the opioid epidemic.
Well, maybe we don't know. I mean, maybe she recovered and one's a nurse, you don't know, but,
Right.
or we could read, but I think to me, these could be successful portraits if, say, they're running in a paper 1 per day, but looking at them as a collection, they're all the exact same size, and they're all, pretty close to the center of the frame. That's what makes me not love it.
We can vote on it.
Out.
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 Thank you.
Can we hear the summary on this one? Sorry, was that what you were gonna ask?
No, go ahead. Okay.
Members of various Northeast Ohio clergy kneel as they block the entrance of the Northeast Ohio Correctional Center. More than 50 members of Radio
we see them all, just flip through them all. Yeah, every grid.
Every story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just-
Grid,
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
it's-
grid.
Okay, drowning story, clergy, cop funeral, homeless.
Intensity. Can we pick one of the cop funeral ones?
Yeah.
I like the black and white, this one. What do you guys think?
I think this one's more stylish, it has a better style. I mean, it kind of flows from image to image. You can tell that there's kind of the same person shot it. The other one, although more loosely edited and probably not tightly enough edited, has more emotion and, but there's some real clunkers of images. I'm not sure why that last picture is in there.
Why is the last picture?
What's that?
And why is the last picture? Certainly.
Yeah. But I think that really hurts it when you have a picture like that in there, when you've got all the other stuff going for it. You know, the emotion of the cop up there at the right. It's really solid. I love the little kid in the window with the flag, you know, watching it, the
Yeah.
thing going by. You know, and the lead image, which we, you know,
Talked about before.
not sure if we awarded that, but it was, if we didn't, it was close.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of really nice pictures in here, but I think, is this the same funeral?
Yes.
I-
And if you go to number 9 in this and compare it to the closing frame of the
Oh,
Black and
other
white one.
story,
yeah.
Same guy.
yeah. If you go back to the grid of the other, yeah.
And that's exactly what I was thinking on the other one, was that should have been the closer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this one is more, this
Yeah.
one's stronger, for sure.
What do you think about that lead image in this?
Striking.
I think it's sometimes, one of the things I like to do anyway is I'll lead off with an image that maybe isn't real straightforward. Like makes you kind of wonder what the story's about, and then it gets into it. But it's gotta be a compelling image to do that, so people don't just ignore it. But, I think it's really successful, they did that here. Yeah, this is really tightly edited, shot with a purpose.
Photography's strong. Can you go to the drowning one and just read the summary again?
Catherine Smyers, Wright, prays with Laura Langholt Middle and Madeline Chandler, 11 on the Pleasant Valley Road Bridge on June 25th, 2018. Smyers' son, James Croft, fell off an inner tube into the Licking River near Robbins Bridge Road on Sunday afternoon. Frantic and believing first responders weren't doing enough in the search, family and friends took it upon themselves to search for the 22-year-old weird man several miles downriver towards Nashport, Ohio. Croft's body was found by ODNR surfers the following day.
This has some really great pictures in it, for this type of a spot news situation, but the editing just is so redundant. It could have been edited like really, really well to 6 pictures, and really been, you know, bam, 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 just hit you. And instead you have just, you know, this guy looking over the bridge, that wide angle vertical, and you know, then you got the other one, then you've got the other one of them searching the same tree, and then, you know, the picture I love is number 10.
Swimming.
All those guys like
Yeah.
swimming in unison,
Yeah.
kinda. I mean, that's a hell of a picture.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I said, the editing just really hurts it for me.
I agree. And it's a lot of, which, this is a challenging logistical up the bridge, down the river kind of thing, but I'm seeing a lot of backs of heads in the edit, you know, like number 8 doesn't do a lot for me, or I think 4, maybe if it was like wider and he's like in the bottom right, like I think you could have kind of composed that in a more interesting way. But I'm with you, I think the edit's too wide and that hurts it.
that first shot is the right one to lead this with, though. It's,
I really like that.
yeah, it's a strong image, and it tells you what's going on right there, or gives you a hint of what's to come. But I could
I don't know if
tentatively
anybody is
lose
actually
this.
listening to this, I would say really,
Yeah,
this may have run this way in your newspaper, like online, you did a
Gallery.
more extensive gallery, but when it comes time for your contest at the end of the year, you've really got to edit tight.
less is more.
Yeah,
I would keep 1. I would keep 3. I would keep probably, well, definitely 10, and the last one.
and I even like the second image just because it gives a really nice sense of place and, where the photographer was to get this shot, kind of gives it a different perspective.
Yeah,
But this definitely isn't one of my weaker images, but it's a storytelling image.
sure.
But it's just when we get into all of the shot from above of the people's backs of their heads
Yeah.
that,
I think, I hear you though. I mean, I think that you need that kind of for sense of place, but I get the impression that this was kind of an ongoing thing. This was going on for a few hours, and we don't know how long the photographer could hang there, but when I look at that picture, I see a lot of backs of heads. Like,
Yeah.
that's a messy picture.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to vote again on it?
Yeah,
You wanna do it around with 2 even?
Sure.
yes,
Out.
I say out.
out.
This
And-
is another one that it really needs an edit. It could probably be 5 pictures. And I also, am I not seeing it, but where's the entrance to the prison? Where's the prison?
Mm.
That they're,
Yeah, good point.
they're all just in the road, and it may be back behind trees or something, I don't know. But, you really don't know.
Or a sign.
And,
Photographer could have driven back and made a shot of this way to the correctional facility, or that sort of thing. Everything was done right here. I would vote in on this.
I'd say in for now. In.
In.
Out.
out.
In.
Can we hear the
Summary.
description on
Yeah.
it?
Throughout 2018, roughly 50 of Athens homeless lived in tents behind 15 Broad Street. These images follow a tent city throughout a long, drawn-out legal battle in multiple city council hearings. The settlement was deemed illegal, and an eviction notice was posted in December 2018.
Can you go to caption on 4, please?
People, all homeless, spend their evening outside the front entrance to 15 Broad to Tent City. Multiple complaints have been made by nearby residents about people loitering on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I'm not. To me, this is not working as a news story because the photos are all kind of the same. It's the same sort of thing. I mean, the compositions are different, and there's some really nice images, but I want to see a little of the city council meeting, police out doing the beat, and maybe a nice shot from a interview session with a neighbor who's talking about this issue. It's not a well-rounded story, although there are some really striking images and beautiful images. I love that image of 7, of just that grubbiness. I mean, that to me says this is a hard damn life to be in.
Could we see these big? Like, go through them quick?
Can I get a caption on, where is that?
9.
I want to hear 9 and 8.
Oh, no, 8. 8 is the one, yeah.
Yeah.
Herman smokes a cigarette outside the entrance to Tent City. Residents and non-residents alike, most of whom are homeless, gather at Tent City during the day. Many smoke throughout the day, littering the ground with cigarette butts. Quote, most people ask why the homeless are always smoking, why they don't just quit and stop wasting their money. I always want them to think, how easy would it be for you to quit? You think about all the added stress, mental issues, and health issues that come with being homeless. It's not that easy, unquote, Herman said. A retiree, Herman lived at Tent City for months before finding an apartment he could afford. He now volunteers at Tent City.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm a
Dan.
little confused by this picture, just because there's this hand coming in with a pen, and it really doesn't explain it. I thought, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, maybe these are the
Complaints or something.
like, the city coming out there and they're like checking on things or ticketing them maybe or whatever. But now I'm just wondering who that hand belongs to. Yeah. But go ahead.
I want to know more about number 9.
Following a rainstorm, sitting under a floodlight, a homeless man spends the evening outside, alone, not wanting to go to his soaked tent.
Okay.
So I still want to keep this in here because I do like most of the images.
Yeah.
Does it tell the whole story? No,
No.
it's a small chapter of what this story's about. But it is pretty. It's well done. They spent a lot of time out there with these people. They've obviously got great access and seem invisible to me, and that's always a bonus. But yeah, if it was complete, we'd have more of the city council meeting. We'd have, exactly what you just said. And it's just missing that to like place it in a higher position. But I do think it's well shot.
I could also live with just this side of the story if we had a good picture of people together. I think that the last frame, number 11, is kind of the closest we have. But it talks a little bit in the captions about working together to cover the tents and how it's a community. And granted, I know they're not all like holding hands at the end of the day, but kind of if there was more numbers or a moment, because one that kind of shows the humanity a little bit better. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Yeah,
it does.
That community image.
Yeah.
The only one that really shows that type of thing is the one where the people are, he's playing with the kid out on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
That shows any sort of community, and they don't want him in their community, so that's kind of an interesting thing. Yeah,
Number 4.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I like that image. It's a nice little moment. You got that Phantom of the Opera poster in the window there that's high society and highbrow, and then this.
This could have been a window to show a little more tension, I think, between the community, the tent community, and the community of whatever town this is in. Can we see their overall number 10 blown up a little more? I wish they could like get on a roof, like I think like the quality of light is really interesting in this, how it's blue hour and the light in the back. There might have been an opportunity for a better overall picture, I wonder.
Also, for whoever's listening, for the photographer, Tent City doesn't need to be capitalized. It's not a proper noun.
Okay.
You need to take an actual photo of this thing.
Oh,
In for me.
yeah,
I'm in.
in. So I think we're down to 3, right?
Is that it?
I
3?
think. Okay, I'm
Ooh.
looking again.
Yeah.
Yeah. you guys feel about leading with the cop funeral story?
Mhm.
That's my first.
How do you feel about leading with
With that image,
that image?
makes me a little queasy. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, I agree with. Yeah.
I think I mean, they made the deliberate choice to do that
Absolutely.
for
They did.
the shock. You know, this is the guy who this is all about. He caused all this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say it. Here's a scary looking black guy. And then we have dead police officers. So,
No, yeah.
Yeah.
it's just, yeah.
Also, does
It's what happened.
does it feel interesting, or does it like? Because part of me, I feel like a few different ways about it. Because part of me is like, is that a little disrespectful to the people who have died to lead so heavy with that? He's the only person whose eyes you're really looking into, and is that kind of an interesting tool, or is that something that you don't agree with? And I don't really know where I stand on it, but I was curious if you guys had feelings about it.
Yeah. That's a good question. Is what is our job to honor this ceremony in a way that the family would respect? And because, yeah, they would see that and not be happy with that lead image. They would want a glowing portrait of,
That's
You
a
know.
really good point, and that didn't even come in across my mind.
Yeah, and I mean, the photographer wasn't sent there to take pictures for this family's album. You're
Sure.
there to show all sides of it, and I think that's important.
journalistically, I can live with this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the alternative is not run his picture.
Right.
I mean, because you're not going to like throw his picture in the middle of that.
No, well, and that's the thing that's tough about this versus like a layout on a print page. Because a layout on a print page, you could really separate it with some text and kind of
Yeah.
include it in the story, but not so in the mix. But
Right.
obviously, that's not.
Mm-hmm.
We're judging it this way.
Images are strong.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah, can you blow up number 5 there, please?
I like that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I really love that. Focus is where it needs to be. It's well shot with the right
Graphic.
lens. Yeah.
Nice separation.
Mm-hmm. I know you almost couldn't set that photo up better.
No. And they're all connected. Like, you know how you want to see generally in a silhouette. Well, I know this isn't a total silhouette,
Yeah.
but you want to see separation between the background and the silhouette.
Mm-hmm.
In this one, it actually helps that they're all touching each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you get that badge, that black band on the badge that is there. Can you go to the grid, please? Thanks, Josh. That's not so obvious as the other one, which we eliminated, had, here's the dog and here's the badge with the band on it. Here it is. It's subtle and it's well done
Strong.
there.
Yeah. I think image-wise, this is the strongest to me. I think the only thing that's giving me the pause is that scene from the courtroom. I think that the next story, the protest, I think, is an example of making the best of a kind of okay situation. I don't love this, but they're all like solid pictures to me, but not particularly interesting.
I'm not feeling this one, and it's just because of the edit is so loose.
Yeah.
There's some really crazy use of a wide angle lens on that number 9
Yeah.
Yeah.
that just really, bothers me. And if you come in and crop into that guy's shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
you take out that nasty stuff back there, the
Yeah,
cone,
good point.
the car, the pole, the sign, all that's gone, and it takes you more into the action.
Mm-hmm. Then you
It
get a
just-
little more of the other photographer in there, though, too.
And the other photographer, and then
Yeah.
you have the shoulder, the guy covering the guy's face there. That
Yeah.
if you just, I don't know, it's this image just doesn't work for me.
It doesn't. Any way you crop it.
But there's a
'Cause if
lot
you-
of
yeah.
kneeling pictures. You know, there's two,
Two,
but it
yeah.
feels like there's a lot. And I think that it's missing that picture that shows sense of place.
It's missing a long shot. It's missing. I wish the photographer had gotten 150 feet back and shot the whole scene with a long lens.
And I don't want to rip on this story. I mean, I think there's
Mm-hmm.
some really nice images in here for sure.
I like
mean,
the last one a
the
lot.
details are great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you've got, I think the one, can you close this, or bank it? The one where he's shooting, or she's shooting up, I guess it's number 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one's pretty successful. You know, the guy trying to keep the peace, you know, just trying to keep things mellow. But they're using the framing that they have, and I applaud the photographer for really, you know, working this situation, but there's only so many images you can come
Yeah, totally.
away with from this kind of staged, you know, demonstration.
It almost looks like a video grab to me for some reason. It's probably not, but I don't know, something about the way it's toned. You know, number 4. Can you go to number 4, please? Yeah. All right. Okay, never mind. Go back to the grid, please. Yeah, we've all shot this a bunch of times, and it's a pretty standard situation, and it's pretty well executed, but do we want to vote for one?
It doesn't rise to the top even 3 to me. I mean, I wouldn't.
You voted out.
Uh-huh.
I wish number 10 was in pictorial, kind of. I think that's just, I love that. I like number 10 a lot, but not the rest of it. Yeah,
hand-
I like
the
that's kind of
hands.
like prayer and kind of like a heart. I
Yeah.
think that's nice. Not enough to keep it in the mix, but good job for that. Do you want to vote on this one?
So I guess we're to the point where we're starting to recognize these 3.
Yeah.
Because we could
Potentially.
we could decide if you want to recognize all 3.
Right.
Mhm.
I would prefer to not award this one.
So have one out on this one to recognize. Is there another one?
I would give it an N.
Yeah, I'm okay keeping it in.
So that's our 3rd place, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so
Potentially.
potentially.
do we want to basically recognize all 3?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
yes.
do, yes.
Yes.
So then now
I'm ready to
let's start
vote.
first, second, third.
Okay. How would you order them?
Black and white first.
Yeah,
This second.
the second.
Say that again?
Just move this to second place.
Policeman's funeral first.
Yeah, this is second.
Man, man. Can we talk about one a little more?
Yeah.
Just looking at it. Do me a favor and figure out a way to take that first image and eliminate it from this portfolio.
We can't even do it.
I know.
mean,
I just want to see it.
Yeah.
I just want to see it.
I will humor you this time.
Yeah.
It has no bearing on.
No, I know.
It doesn't. We're just talking here. How do we feel about this grouping? Interesting. Okay, pop it back in.
They're great both ways.
Yeah.
I think without the first image, I would like to add, like in the other version of this funeral, I didn't love technically how it came together, but the woman who was crying and you saw kind of the motorcade coming, I like getting a face on, more eye contact. You know,
Mhm.
you see the little girl, but everybody else is kind of with glasses or casting down. That's his wife, I think, and that's friends. I don't know.
Hmm.
He's bringing young people with imagination.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
But just, I guess the photo that I want to see in here, can you go to 4, please? Okay. Yeah, can you grid, please? Just a bigger group shot,
Mm-hmm.
more crowd. Dang it, I want to see some other faces out there
Mm-hmm.
in that picture. That would make me feel more comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Could we just read ourselves the caption on number 7? Is that inside the service or is that on the street? Does it say? Okay.
Westerville officer Eric Drang's wife, Jamie, puts her head down while her daughter, Ella, looks on during funeral services at St. Paul Catholic Church in Westerville on February 16th, 2018.
So I know I've never been to that church. I wish maybe it's not possible, so we can kind of talk about it, but an overall in there and kind of seeing numbers,
Mm-hmm.
because they already have the access being inside. That might.
Yeah. Yeah, but at the end of the day, we have to judge what's here,
Totally,
what's
yeah.
not. and,
Yeah, yeah.
we all know that.
And
but it's a strong set.
Yeah,
I'm okay voting.
Sounds like we're going to consensus here.
Sure.
So let's go for this one for first place.
yes.
Yeah.
You want to state your vote?
No.
Well, do you want to tell us why you like a different one for first?
I don't.
Oh. Okay.
This one for second.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then this for third.
Yes.
Yeah.
I abstain.
That's fair.
Two abstains in
Yeah.
this process.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, bring on the groups
Yeah.
after I hit the bathroom real quick.
Yes.
Okay.